The soft hiss of the cryopod opening woke Captain Jin-Ho Lee. Cold air turned to warm as the lid lifted. His body ached as it always did after long sleep. The ship's lights were dim, set to morning mode. "Wake up, Captain," said the ship's computer. "We have reached Earth orbit." Jin-Ho blinked and sat up slowly. His fingers felt stiff as he wiped sleep from his eyes. The year was 2487, almost 200 years since humans left Earth behind. The great solar storms had made their homeworld too dangerous to live on. At least, that's what all the records said. "Status report," Jin-Ho said, his voice rough from disuse. "All systems normal. Lieutenant Hae-Yun Park is already awake and on the bridge." Jin-Ho nodded and stood up. His legs felt weak, but each step became easier as he walked to his private shower. The warm water helped clear his mind. This was his third patrol to Earth. The Terran Commonwealth sent ships like his, the Horizon Asterisk, to check on humanity's old home every few years. They made sure no alien races tried to claim the radioactive ruins. It was a simple job. Boring, even. No one wanted a dead world. After dressing in his blue uniform, Jin-Ho made his way to the bridge. The ship was small with a crew of only 12. Most were still asleep, as only a few people were needed for this routine mission. Lieutenant Hae-Yun Park stood when he entered. She was tall and serious, with short black hair and alert eyes. "Captain on the bridge," she announced. "At ease, Lieutenant," Jin-Ho said. "How does our old home look today?" Hae-Yun gestured to the main screen. Earth filled the view. From space, it still looked beautiful. Blue oceans, white clouds, green and brown land. Only someone with training could spot the signs of damage. The atmosphere had a strange glow in places, and some coastlines had changed. "Mostly as expected, sir," Hae-Yun said. "But—" Jin-Ho raised an eyebrow. "But what?" "Do-Yun noticed something strange," she said, mentioning their systems specialist. "He's in the sensor room now." Jin-Ho felt a small tingle of interest. Nothing strange ever happened on these patrols. "Show me," he said. Hae-Yun led him to a small room filled with screens and equipment. Do-Yun Kim sat hunched over a console, his round face lit by screen light. He looked up when they entered. "Captain, you need to see this," Do-Yun said, pointing to his screen. Jin-Ho leaned closer. The screen showed a map of what used to be the Korean peninsula. Several spots glowed with soft light. "What am I looking at?" Jin-Ho asked. "Energy readings," Do-Yun said. "Small, but definitely there. And they're in a pattern." He typed some commands, and the view zoomed in. "See, these aren't random. They're in straight lines, like roads," Hae-Yun finished, her voice quiet with surprise. Jin-Ho stared at the screen. His heart beat faster. How is this possible? Nothing should be making energy down there. Not after all this time. "I don't know," Do-Yun said. "But these readings are new. They weren't there during the last patrol 5 years ago." Jin-Ho straightened up. For the first time in years, he felt truly awake. Earth was supposed to be dead, humanity's empty grave. But something was happening down there, something that shouldn't be possible. "Wake the rest of the crew," he ordered. "And prepare a shuttle. We're going down to look." Hae-Yun looked shocked. "Sir, protocol says we should report this to Commonwealth Command first." Jin-Ho shook his head. "That would take weeks. If something is down there, I want to know what it is now." He looked back at the screen, at the glowing lines that shouldn't exist. Earth has been quiet for 2 centuries. If it's finally decided to speak, I want to hear what it has to say. As he spoke, a new reading appeared on the screen, a pulse of energy like a heartbeat from the dead world below. The shuttle shook as it cut through Earth's atmosphere. Jin-Ho gripped his seat while Hae-Yun checked the controls. Do-Yun stared at his tablet, watching the energy readings grow stronger. "We should land 3 kilometers from the strongest signal," Do-Yun said. "It's safer." Jin-Ho nodded, The three of them wore protective suits, just in case. All records said Earth's air was toxic now. The suits were bulky but necessary. The shuttle touched down in what used to be a city. Now it was just broken stones and twisted metal covered in strange blue-green plants. The sky above was cloudy, but not the deadly storm they expected. Radiation levels are high, but not fatal for short exposure, Du Yun said, looking at his scanner. Air has more oxygen than our records show. Stay alert, Jin Ho ordered as the shuttle door opened. We don't know what's out there. They stepped onto Earth's surface. The ground felt solid under their boots. Jin Ho looked around in wonder. This was humanity's birthplace, yet he felt like a stranger here. The energy source is that way. Du Yun pointed to a hill covered in strange plants. They walked carefully through the ruins. Old buildings stuck out from the ground like broken teeth. Some signs in old Korean writing were still visible, faded but readable. This was Seoul, Hae-yun said quietly. My family came from here, generations ago. Jin Ho touched her shoulder. Many Commonwealth citizens kept track of their Earth roots even after all these years. As they got closer to the hill, Du Yun's device beeped faster. The signal is getting stronger. It's just beyond those rocks. They climbed over a pile of rubble and stopped suddenly. Below them was a small valley with neat rows of plants growing in straight lines. Crops, Jin Ho whispered. Someone is growing food here. Impossible, Hae-yun said. No one could survive here all this time. Before Jin Ho could answer, a sharp sound cut through the air. Something small hit the rock near his head. Take cover, he shouted. They ducked behind large rocks as more small objects, stones, flew past them. We come in peace, Jin Ho called out, using the old Earth phrase from history books. The stone throwing stopped. Jin Ho risked a look and saw movement among the plants. People, actual people on Earth. Do not move, a voice called out in broken Commonwealth standard language, or we shoot for real this time. Jin Ho slowly raised his hands. We mean no harm. We're from the Commonwealth. 5 figures emerged from the crops. They wore simple clothes made from rough fabric and animal skins. Each carried a handmade weapon, spears and bows. Their leader was a woman with short black hair and a long scar across her face. She pointed a metal spear at Jin Ho. I am Sunmi, she said. This is our land. Why do sky people return now? Jin Ho stared in shock. These weren't just survivors. They were organized with language, tools, and agriculture. My name is Captain Jin Ho Lee of the Commonwealth Ship Horizon. We detected energy signals and came to investigate. Sunmi's eyes narrowed. So finally you notice us, after all these years. How is this possible? Hae-yun asked. Our records say no one could survive the solar storms. Sunmi made a sharp, bitter sound that might have been a laugh. Your records lie. Many stayed behind. Many had no choice. Du Yun stepped forward slowly. The energy readings, what's causing them? Sunmi hesitated, then pointed to a metal pole rising from the center of their crops. A series of crude devices hung from it, giving off soft blue light. Our power collectors, she said. We build them bigger each year. Finally big enough for you to see from sky, it seems. Jin Ho felt his world shifting. Commonwealth history was wrong. Earth wasn't empty. It had never been empty. How many of you are there? He asked. Sunma studied him for a long moment. Then she pointed to the ground. More than stars in sky, she said. We live below now. Earth took us back when you threw us away. She gestured toward a hidden path. Come, the elders will want to meet the people who finally remembered we exist. Sunma led Jin Ho, Hae-yun, and Du Yun down a hidden path between tall rocks. 2 of her people walked behind them, still holding their weapons ready. The path ended at what looked like a pile of fallen buildings, but Sunmi pushed aside some metal sheets to reveal a tunnel entrance. Watch your head, she said, and keep your suits on if you want. but our air is clean. Jin-Ho hesitated, then removed his helmet. He took a careful breath. The air smelled strange, earthy, and a bit sweet, but he could breathe it. Hei-Yun and Du-Yun followed his example. Amazing, Du-Yun said. The radiation levels are much lower here. The tunnel sloped down, lit by small blue lights like the ones they had seen in the field. After walking for 10 minutes, the tunnel opened into a huge underground space that made all three visitors stop in wonder. They stood at the edge of an underground city. The cavern was massive, at least a kilometer across and very high. Homes made of salvaged materials lined the walls on many levels. Gardens grew under special lights. A small river ran through the center. Hundreds of people moved around, working, talking, and living their lives. Welcome to New Seoul, Sunmai said, one of many underground cities. This is impossible, Hei-Yun whispered. Our history books say everyone died or left. Your history is wrong, Sunmai said. She pointed to an old man walking toward them. Jae-wook will explain. He remembers the leaving time. Jae-wook was very old, with white hair and a bent back. His eyes, though, were sharp and clear. He wore a simple robe decorated with strange symbols. Everyone they passed bowed to him with respect. Visitors from the stars, he said in a stronger voice than Jin-Ho expected. Come to my home. We have much to discuss. Jae-wook's home was a large cave with walls covered in drawings and old photographs. He offered them seats on cushions around a low table. A young boy brought them cups of hot liquid that smelled like herbs. It is safe to drink, Jae-wook said. We have adapted to Earth's new ways. Jin-Ho took a small sip. It tasted bitter but good. Elder Jae-wook, we were taught that Earth was empty. How did your people survive here? Jae-wook's eyes grew sad. When the sun's anger came, there was not enough room on the leaving ships. The rich, the powerful, the useful, they went first. Millions were left behind. That's not what our records show, Hei-Yun said. Of course not, Jae-wook replied. The truth is ugly. Would your Commonwealth want to remember how they chose who lived and who died? Jin-Ho felt sick. Could this be true? Jae-wook continued. Those left behind went underground. Old subway tunnels, mine shafts, military bunkers, anywhere deep and safe. The first years were terrible. Many died. But humans are strong. We adapted. For almost 200 years, Du-Yun asked in disbelief. Yes, Jae-wook said simply. We found ways to grow food, to clean water, to make power. Each generation grew stronger. We learned to live in Earth's new reality. Why didn't you try to contact the Commonwealth ships that patrol Earth? Jin-Ho asked. Sunmai, who stood nearby, made an angry noise. We did, at first. Your ships ignored our signals or fired on anyone who went to the surface. Jae-wook raised a hand to calm her. That was long ago, Sunmai. He turned to Jin-Ho. Eventually, we stopped trying. We built our own world down here. But recently, some of our young people thought it was time to try again. They built bigger power collectors, hoping to be noticed. And it worked, Jin-Ho said. We saw them. Yes, Jae-wook nodded. Now you are here, and you know the truth. Earth's grave was never empty. We lived on, forgotten by our own kind. Jin-Ho looked at Hei-Yun and Du-Yun. Their faces showed the same shock he felt. Everything they knew about their history was wrong. And now they had to decide what to do with this world-changing truth. Jin-Ho couldn't sleep. After meeting with Jae-wook, Sunmai had shown them to a small cave where they could rest. Hei-Yun slept fitfully on a bed of soft moss, but Du-Yun sat in the corner with his tablet, his face lit by its blue glow. Find anything? Jin-Ho asked quietly. Du-Yun looked up. I've been comparing our Commonwealth records with what Jae-wook told us. Captain, I think he's telling the truth. He handed Jin-Ho the tablet. On it were 2 sets of data about the great solar storms. The official Commonwealth version showed deadly radiation levels that would kill anyone on the surface. The second set, which Du Yun had calculated based on their current readings and rate of decay, showed much lower levels. The storms were bad, but not world-ending, Du Yun said. Someone changed our historical data. Jin Ho felt cold despite the warm air of the cave. Why would they lie about this? I have a theory, Du Yun said. The early Commonwealth leaders wanted a fresh start. Earth had wars, poverty, and too many people. The solar storms gave them an excuse to leave the old world behind, but not everyone could fit on the ships. So they chose who to save and left the rest to die. Jin Ho finished, then lied and said no one could have survived, and kept watching to make sure no one knew the truth, Du Yun added. Outside their cave, someone cleared their throat. Jin Ho looked up to see Sun Mei standing there with a young man. This is my brother, Tawu, she said. He will show He Yun our growing caves. You and Du Yun will come with me to the council. He Yun woke up quickly. She seemed eager to go with Tawu, who smiled at her shyly. Our plants are different from what you know, Tawu told her as they walked away. We had to create new types that could grow with less light. Sun Mai watched them go, then turned to Jin Ho. The council wants to know what the Commonwealth will do now that you know about us. I don't know, Jin Ho admitted. This changes everything. The council met in a large circular cave. 10 elders, including Jae-wook, sat in stone chairs. Jin Ho and Du Yun stood in the center and told them everything about the Commonwealth. How humans had spread to 3 star systems, how they had built new worlds, and how Earth was remembered as a dead planet, humanity's empty grave. And now that you know different, what will you do? Asked a female elder with silver hair. Before Jin Ho could answer, his wrist communicator beeped loudly. He answered it, hearing He Yun's worried voice. Captain, a Commonwealth battlecruiser just entered Earth orbit. It's the Judgment *. Admiral Kang is demanding we return to the ship immediately. Jin Ho's stomach tightened. The Judgment * was one of the biggest ships in the fleet. Why would they send it here? Return to the shuttle, he ordered. I'll meet you there. He looked at the council. A large ship has arrived. I need to go deal with this, but I promise we'll return. As Jin Ho and Du Yun hurried back through the tunnels, Du Yun checked his tablet again. Captain, I just received a private message from Kita on the Judgment *. He says Admiral Kang has orders about Earth, and Du Yun's voice dropped. He says the Commonwealth Council has always known about the survivors here. Jin Ho stopped walking. What? According to Kita, they'd been watching the Earth people for generations, studying how they adapted, like some kind of experiment. Du Yun looked sick. And now they're worried about us making contact. Jin Ho started walking again, faster this time. We need to get to that shuttle and find out what's going on. But as they reached the tunnel entrance, Sun Mai stepped out of the shadows. I heard everything, she said, her eyes hard. Your people knew we were here all along, didn't they? They left us to die, then watched us like animals in a cage. You need to trust me, Jin Ho said to Sun Mai as they stood in the tunnel. I didn't know about this. I promise. Sun Mai's hand rested on her knife. Why should I believe you? Because I'm as angry as you are, Jin Ho said. My people lied to me too. After a long moment, Sun Mai nodded. Go to your ship, find out what these people want. But Du Yun stays here as our guest. Jin Ho didn't like it, but he understood. Agreed. I'll return as soon as I can. Outside, He Yun waited at the shuttle with Tawu. She looked worried. Captain, Admiral Kang has sent 3 messages. She sounds angry. Jin Ho looked at Tawu. Go back inside. Tell Du Yun to share everything he's learned with your council. After Tawu left, Jin Ho and He Yun boarded the shuttle. As they flew up toward space, Jin Ho explained what they had learned. This is terrible, He Yun said. All those people, left behind on purpose. The judgment came into view as they left Earth's atmosphere. It was enormous, at least 20 times larger than their small patrol ship. Its weapons could destroy a small moon. They docked in one of the battlecruiser's many landing bays. Admiral Min Seo Kang waited for them, surrounded by armed guards. She was a tall woman with cold eyes and perfect posture. "Captain Lee," she said. "Lieutenant Park, where is Systems Specialist Kim?" "He stayed to repair the shuttle." Jin Ho lied. "The landing was rough." Admiral Kang's eyes narrowed. "I see. Come with me. We have much to discuss." She led them to a large meeting room. The walls were lined with screens showing images of Earth, including close-ups of the settlements and even the underground cities. "You've been watching them all along," Jin Ho said, unable to hide his anger. "Of course," Admiral Kang replied calmly. "Earth is the most important research project in human history. How humans adapt and evolve in harsh conditions. It's valuable data." "Those are people down there, not lab rats," Heyun said. Admiral Kang ignored her. "Your mission was simple, Captain Lee. Patrol and observe, not make contact." "We detected energy readings," Jin Ho said. "We investigated, as per our orders. And now you've complicated things." The Admiral touched a screen, bringing up images of mining equipment. "Earth is recovering. Its resources are becoming viable again. The Commonwealth plans to harvest those resources soon." "What about the people living there?" Jin Ho asked. Admiral Kang's face showed no emotion. They were never meant to survive this long. Their existence was supposed to be temporary, a chance to observe human adaptation before the planet was reclaimed. Jin Ho felt sick. "You're talking about millions of people." "I'm talking about resources that billions of Commonwealth citizens need," Kang said. "The needs of many outweigh the needs of few." "So what happens now?" Heyun asked. "You and your crew will return to your ship and prepare for quarantine. You've been exposed to unknown biological factors." Admiral Kang looked at them coldly. "Then we will implement sterilization protocols on the areas you visited." "Sterilization," Jin Ho repeated. "You mean killing everyone?" "I mean containing a potential threat to the Commonwealth," Kang said. "It's regrettable but necessary." Jin Ho's communicator beeped softly, a private channel. When Kang turned to speak with a guard, Jin Ho checked it. The message was from his old friend Kita, the communications officer on the Judgment Asterisk. "Don't return to your ship," the message read. "Kang plans to lock you up and then attack the Earth settlement. She has dropped troops ready. I'll help you if I can." Jin Ho looked at Heyun. She had received the same message and her face was pale. "Admiral," Jin Ho said, thinking fast. "We left important equipment in the shuttle. We need to retrieve it before returning to our ship." Admiral Kang waved her hand. "Fine. Report to medical for decontamination in 1 hour." As soon as they were alone in the corridor, Jin Ho whispered to Heyun, "We're not going to let this happen." Heyun nodded, her eyes determined. "What's the plan, Captain?" "We're going to steal back our shuttle," he said, "and warn Sunmis people." Jin Ho and Heyun walked quickly through the Judgment's halls toward the landing bay. They tried to look normal, but Jin Ho's heart beat fast. If they were caught, they would be locked up or worse. "Act natural," he whispered to Heyun as they passed a group of soldiers. The landing bay was busy with people loading equipment onto dropships, the kind used for ground attacks. Jin Ho saw weapons being prepared. The attack on Sunmis people would start soon. Their shuttle sat in a corner of the bay. 2 guards stood near it. "I need a distraction," Jin Ho said quietly. Heyun nodded. "I have an idea." She walked over to a control panel and quickly pressed some buttons. Suddenly, alarms started ringing on the far side of the bay. The guards looked over, confused. "Fire in Section 6, someone shouted. The guards ran to help, leaving the shuttle unguarded. Jin-Ho and Hei-Yun moved fast, slipping inside their shuttle and closing the door. "They'll stop us from launching," Hei-Yun said as she started the engines. "Maybe not," Jin-Ho replied. His communicator beeped with a message from Kita. "Bay doors opening in 30 seconds. Be ready." True to his word, the massive bay doors began to open. Someone was shouting over the ship's speakers, ordering them to close again, but they kept moving. "Go now," Jin-Ho ordered. Hei-Yun pushed the shuttle to full power. They shot out of the bay just as guards reached their position. Jin-Ho saw Admiral Kang appear in the bay, her face twisted with anger as she watched them escape. "They'll follow us," Hei-Yun said as they raced toward Earth. Jin-Ho worked quickly at the shuttle's small computer. "Not if they can't track us." He activated a program that hid their signal. Du-Yun showed me this trick. It won't last long, but it might give us enough time. They flew down to Earth as fast as the shuttle could go. When they landed near the hidden entrance, Sunmai was waiting with Ta-Wu and 10 warriors. "You came back," she said, sounding surprised. "We had to warn you," Jin-Ho said. "The Commonwealth knows about you. They've always known, and now they're coming to attack." Sunmi's face hardened. "How many?" "At least 100 soldiers," Hei-Yun said. "Maybe more, with advanced weapons." "Why?" Ta-Wu asked. "Why attack us now after all these years?" "Earth's resources are valuable again," Jin-Ho explained. "And you're in the way." Sunmai spat on the ground. "So first they leave us to die, then they watch us struggle to live, and now they come to finish the job." She looked at Jin-Ho. "Why should we trust you? You're one of them." "Not anymore," Jin-Ho said. "What the Commonwealth is doing is wrong. I won't be part of it." Hei-Yun stepped forward. "We've betrayed our people to warn you. Isn't that proof enough?" Tai-Wu touched Sunmi's arm. "I believe them, sister." Before Sunmai could answer, an old man stepped forward from the group. He had been so quiet Jin-Ho hadn't noticed him, a thin man with bright eyes. "These sky people tell the truth," the old man said. "I can feel it." Jin-Ho stared at the man. "How can you know that?" The old man smiled. "Earth changed us. The radiation, the new plants, the minerals in our water. They changed how our minds work. Some of us can feel what others think. Some can see beyond walls. I can tell truth from lies." "That's impossible," Hei-Yun whispered. "Is it?" Sunmai asked. "Your people left us in poison and radiation for generations. Did you think we would stay the same?" Jin-Ho remembered what Jae-Wook had said about adapting. The Earth people had changed in ways the Commonwealth never expected. "We need to warn everyone," Jin-Ho said. "How quickly can you evacuate your city?" "We don't run," Sunmai said. "This is our home. We fight." She looked at Jin-Ho and Hei-Yun. "The question is, will you fight with us?" Jin-Ho looked at Hei-Yun. She nodded without hesitation. "Yes," Jin-Ho said. "We'll fight with you. But you need to know what you're facing. Commonwealth weapons are very powerful." Sunma smiled for the first time. It changed her whole face. "We have some surprises of our own. Come, Jae-Wook wants to show you something. Something that might save us all." Jae-Wook led the small group through tunnels Jin-Ho hadn't seen before. These were different, not made by the Earth people, but built long ago with smooth walls and metal doors. Some had old signs in Korean and English. "What is this place?" Jin-Ho asked as they walked deeper. Before the sun's anger, before the leaving, there was fear between nations. Jae-Wook explained. Countries built secret places underground, places to hide, to fight from, to survive war. "Military bunkers," Hei-Yun said. "I've read about them." Jae-Wook nodded. This one was special. It held weapons too dangerous to use. Weapons that could win wars but break the world. They came to a huge metal door. It looked very old, but still strong. Sunmai and Tai-Wu pushed hard on a wheel in the middle of the door. It turned slowly with a loud creaking sound. The door swung open. Inside was a large room filled with old machines. Dust covered everything, but lights still glowed on some control panels. The Earth people had kept the power running all these years. Our ancestors found this place when they first went underground, Jae-wook said. They learned its secrets and kept it ready, just in case. Do-yun was already examining the machines. His eyes were wide with excitement. This is amazing, he said. Some of this technology was lost when Earth was abandoned. Jin-ho walked to a large screen on the wall. It showed a map of the area around them, with small dots moving in the sky. Those are the Commonwealth ships, Hae-yun said, pointing to the dots. They're getting into position for an attack. Jae-wook touched a control panel. The screen changed to show a different image, a large circle with lines spreading out from it like a spider web. This is the heart of the secret, he said, a weapon that attacks ships without destroying them. It sends out a special wave that stops machines from working. An electromagnetic pulse system, Do-yun said in wonder. I've heard stories about these, but the Commonwealth banned them. They can shut down entire fleets without killing anyone. Can it stop Admiral Kang's ships? Jin-ho asked. Jae-wook's face grew serious. Maybe, but it has been sleeping for many years, and it needs two things to wake up. What things? Hae-yun asked. First, it needs codes from the Sky People's systems, Jae-wook said. Your ships use old Earth military protocols at their core. The weapon needs to know these codes to target the right ships. Jin-ho nodded. I can provide those. What's the second thing? Sun-me stepped forward. It needs one of us to connect with it. The weapon links to a person's mind. That's why your people could never use it if they found it. It was built to work only with special brain patterns, the kind our people developed after living here for generations. I will do it, Ta-woo said quietly. Sun-me grabbed her brother's arm. No, the elders say it causes great pain. It could kill you. We need this weapon, Ta-woo insisted, and my mind is stronger than most. Jin-ho looked at the screen again. More Commonwealth ships were moving into position. We don't have much time, he said. Admiral Kang will start her attack soon. Do-yun was already working at one of the control panels. I can update the targeting systems with our Commonwealth codes, but it will take about 20 minutes. Suddenly, a loud alarm sounded. One of Sun-me's people ran into the room. Ships are landing, the messenger shouted. Many soldiers with big weapons. They're heading this way. Sun-me drew her knife. We need time for the weapon to work. We must slow them down. Jin-ho made a quick decision. Hae-yun and I will go with Sun-me. We know Commonwealth tactics. Do-yun, stay here and finish the weapon with Ta-woo. Jae-wook put his hand on Jin-ho's shoulder. Thank you for fighting with us, Skyman. Jin-ho nodded. Earth was never empty, and it's time the Commonwealth remembered that. As they hurried toward the tunnel entrance, Jin-ho heard the machines in the bunker come to life behind them, humming with power that had waited 200 years to be unleashed. Jin-ho, Hae-yun, and Sun-me reached the tunnel entrance just as the first Commonwealth soldiers appeared over the hill. They wore full battle armor with helmets that hid their faces. They carried energy weapons that could burn through rock. Stay down, Jin-ho whispered as they crouched behind large rocks. There are 20 soldiers in this group. More will be coming. Sun-me made hand signals to her people, who were hidden all around. The Earth people had fought for survival for generations. They knew how to hide and how to fight. We need to keep them away from the bunker entrance, Hae-yun said. Do-yun needs more time. Sun-me nodded. My people know what to do. From the shadows and rocks around them, Earth people began to throw small metal objects at the soldiers. The objects exploded in bright flashes of light and noise. The soldiers were confused, shooting wildly at the rocks. Now, Sun-me shouted. Earth fighters rushed from their hiding places, throwing nets and spears. 3 soldiers fell, trapped. The others formed a tight circle, backs together. Jin-Ho saw their leader touch the side of his helmet. He's calling for help. More will come soon. As if in answer, a larger ship appeared in the sky. It landed nearby, and more soldiers poured out. Among them was a figure Jin-Ho recognized, Admiral Kang, wearing a command armor suit that made her taller and stronger than the others. Find the entrance to their nest, she ordered her troops. Burn it all. Jin-Ho's communicator beeped. It was Du Yun. The weapon is almost ready, he said. We need 5 more minutes. We may not have 5 minutes, Jin-Ho replied. Sun Mi touched his arm and pointed. All around the battlefield, Earth people were appearing from hidden spots. Many held their hands to their heads, focusing hard. Suddenly, 3 Commonwealth soldiers dropped their weapons and fell to their knees, holding their heads in pain. What's happening? Jin-Ho asked. Our mind readers, Sun Mi explained. They can't stop all the soldiers, but they can confuse some. Admiral Kang noticed what was happening. Mental attack, she shouted. Helmets to shield mode. The soldiers pressed buttons on their helmets. Now they were protected from the Earth people's mental powers. We need a new plan, Hae-Yun said. Jin-Ho looked around desperately. Then he had an idea. Sun Mi, can your people create a cave-in? Not a real one, but make it look like the tunnel is collapsing. Sun Mi smiled. Yes, we've practiced this. She called to her fighters. Several ran to the tunnel entrance and began hitting the walls in certain spots. Dust and small rocks fell, making it look like the ceiling was giving way. Some fighters screamed as if being trapped. It's working, Jin-Ho said. The soldiers are moving toward the fake cave-in. As the Commonwealth forces focused on the tunnel entrance, Jin-Ho led Hae-Yun and Sun Mi around the side of the hill. There was another way into the tunnels, a small opening hidden by bushes. This will take us straight to the bunker, Sun Mi said. They slipped inside just as Admiral Kang shouted new orders to her troops. Spread out. Find all entrances. Inside the tunnel, they ran toward the bunker. Jin-Ho's communicator beeped again. We're ready, Du Yun said. But there's a problem. The weapon needs more power than we have. What about the power collectors? Hae-Yun asked. Too far away, Sun Mi said. Jin-Ho thought quickly. What about my shuttle? Its power cells could be connected to your systems. Yes, Du Yun said. But someone would need to bring the shuttle close to the bunker and connect the power lines. And Commonwealth ships are watching from above. I'll do it, Jin-Ho said. I can fly low and fast. They won't expect one of their own shuttles. Hae-Yun grabbed his arm. It's too dangerous. We have no choice, Jin-Ho replied. Get to the bunker. Help Ta-Wu and Du Yun. I'll bring the power they need. As he turned to leave, Sun Mi caught his arm. Fly like the wind, Skyman, she said. Earth is counting on you. Jin-Ho nodded and ran back toward the surface, knowing that the fate of an entire world, a world that was never truly empty, now rested in his hands. Jin-Ho ran through the chaos of battle toward his shuttle. Soldiers were everywhere, but they were busy fighting Earth people and didn't notice him. His Commonwealth uniform helped him blend in. When he reached the shuttle, he jumped inside and started the engines. The small ship lifted off the ground. Jin-Ho flew low, just above the trees, where the bigger ships couldn't easily spot him. I'm on my way, he said into his communicator. Where should I land? There's a small clearing just above the bunker, Du Yun replied. But hurry. Admiral Kang's forces are getting closer. Jin-Ho spotted the clearing and brought the shuttle down fast. Sun Mi was waiting with 2 of her people. They quickly ran cables from the shuttle to a metal door half hidden in the hillside. This leads directly to the weapon room, Sun Mi explained. Inside the bunker, Du Yun and Tai-Wu worked frantically at the control panels. Tai-Wu sat in a strange chair with metal bands around his head. His face was pale, and he looked in pain. The power cells are connected, Jinho said. Du-yun nodded. Good. Now we need to activate the weapon. But there's one more problem. The signal won't reach the ships in orbit unless we can boost it. The communication tower on your ship, Hae-yun said to Jinho. It's designed to send signals to orbit. But we can't get to my ship, Jinho said. It's still docked on the Judgment *. Kita's voice suddenly came through Jinho's communicator. I can help with that. I'm in the communications center of the Judgment *. If you can send your signal to me, I can boost it to all Commonwealth ships. You'd be risking everything, Jinho said. I know, Kita replied. But this is wrong. The truth needs to be heard. Do-yun quickly made the necessary changes. Ready when you are, Ta-wu. Ta-wu closed his eyes. The metal bands around his head began to glow. He gasped in pain, but didn't stop. The machines hummed louder. On the screen, the spider web pattern grew brighter. It's working, Du-yun shouted. Outside, they heard the sound of weapons getting closer. Admiral Kang and her soldiers had found them. Hold them off, Jinho told Sun Mei and Hae-yun. Just a little longer. The door burst open. Admiral Kang stood there in her command armor, weapon raised. Stop this now, she ordered. It's too late, Jinho said. At that moment, Ta-wu screamed. A pulse of energy shot from the machines, through the cables, and up to Jinho's shuttle. The shuttle's communication system caught the signal and sent it to the Judgment *. On all the screens, they saw Commonwealth ships suddenly go dark. The weapons stopped firing. Admiral Kang's armor froze, trapping her inside. What have you done? She demanded. Saved Earth, Jinho said. And maybe the Commonwealth too. Kita's voice came through again. The pulse worked. All ships are disabled. And I've sent something else too, the truth. I've broadcast images of Earth's people to every colony in the Commonwealth. Everyone can see that Earth was never empty. In the days that followed, everything changed. More Commonwealth ships arrived, but not to fight. The people of the colonies were angry when they learned the truth. Many had family who had been left behind on Earth. The Commonwealth Council was forced to meet with Earth's leaders. Earth was recognized as a free and independent world. Some Commonwealth people chose to return to help rebuild their ancestral home, and some Earth people decided to visit the stars. 1 month later, Jinho stood with Sun Mei on a hillside. Below them, Commonwealth ships were landing with supplies and people eager to see the home of humanity. New buildings were being constructed. Earth trees were growing strong. Will you stay? Sun Mei asked. Jinho nodded. This is where humans began. It seems right to help humanity come home. Hae-yun and Tai-wu joined them. Tai-wu had recovered from using the weapon. Though he tired easily, Hae-yun rarely left his side now. Du-yun says the radiation levels are dropping faster than expected. Hae-yun said, Earth is healing itself. It was never as dead as they told us, Jinho said. Earth's grave was never empty. And now it's not a grave at all anymore. It's a cradle again, a place for humanity to be reborn. As they watched, a group of children, some from Earth, some newly arrived from the stars, ran past them, laughing in the sunlight of the world that humanity had abandoned but never truly lost.